Hi everyone, before we get into today's video, I just want to invite you to check out anv.me, that's my website, A-N-N-E-V as in Victor.me. Hi everyone, it is Friday afternoon as I record this. I don't know when I'm going to actually edit it and put it up, but it's Friday afternoon at like 1 something, like 1 o'clock give or take, and I am definitely ready to eat, but I want to eat something that's like healthier and kind of more variety than what I have right now. So I have placed an order, again, that's healthier than I usually get. Usually I open Postmates and say, go to Wendy's for me, run to Burgerville. This time I said, grab my order from Subway, will ya? I mean, you don't get much healthier than a sandwich, do you? And I threw a salad in too because I know my body needs more vegetables than I give it. I mean, I give it vegetables at a lot of meals, but what kind of vegetables am I giving it? Peas all the time? There are healthier vegetables than peas. In fact, some would argue that peas are some of the most unhealthy vegetables. I'm not sure I agree with them, but I think it's time for some variety, and I think it's time to get like a little bit healthier. So I placed an order with Subway, and I am waiting for it. I said I was going to wait outside, and then I waited inside, and then suddenly my phone said arriving now. I'm like, ah! Okay. Alright, I got a tuna. Wow. I got a tuna footlong, which is more sandwich than I needed. A cookie, a salad, some chips, and of course, a Diet Coke. You know what? I think I might just eat some of this now and then wrap the rest up and eat it at another time. I mean, yeah, tuna footlong. Actually, that's pretty much perfect. I don't know if it was partially cut or if it just happened to be that way, but that's pretty much perfect. I will eat this part of the sandwich now, and then put the rest in the fridge and eat it for tomorrow's lunch or something. I mean, that is more sandwich than I need right now. I think they had 6-inch long subs, and I didn't look far enough in the menu for them. It's tuna, fresh vegetables, and bread, which is what I asked for. I'm doing better by my body eating that than I am eating a big old hamburger and fries. I mean, who am I kidding? I'll order that next time. But right now, this is what I think I need to be eating. This multi-grain bread is healthier, but I don't know if I want to get it on a regular basis. Just plain white bread didn't seem to be an option. I mean, maybe there is some form of white bread, but they don't call it white bread. They call it artisan bread or flat bread. I don't know. Well, I know what I would love to do all weekend, but I know what I need to do as well. Last week, the inspiration came to me to write something a little bit different. I've been writing my whole life. I never imagined it would be published because I never created my own characters. It was always somebody I watched on TV and liked and wrote my own stories about them. That doesn't get you published. That gets you in jail for plagiarism, stealing somebody else's characters. So I've done it probably for as long as I can remember. I just never had any intention of publishing anything. And then about 2 years ago, I took this writing class thinking, actually, was it my idea or was it a life coach's idea? That I might one day publish a book. I'm not sure. But obviously it was my idea to some extent because I adopted it and I took this writing class, and somebody who I took the writing class with, who is probably going to recognize herself when she watches this video, she said, yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading your book, and I will bet it's not even going to be just a book. It might end up being a series. Well, if you're watching, and to anybody else who cares to know, I've abandoned that storyline. I've abandoned that character. And I've developed a new one, new scenario, the whole thing is different. The whole premise of the story is different. But you're right, it's going to be a series. I can't imagine everything that is going to happen to this character and the person or people that are most important to her happening in one book. At least not the way I write books. I guess I could create one big old book, but I don't want... Maybe it just goes back to my own reading habits and reading preferences. I don't want big-ass 12-hour-long books. I want little, I don't know, hour or two long books that don't take forever and a day to listen to. So I write small books with what probably qualifies as smallish chapters. I don't know how much I want to talk about it right now. There's absolutely no ETA as to when I might publish it. I have no idea when or how I would afford to publish it, but first of all, I can't afford it as a reason to not do everything. I'm not gonna do that here. I'm gonna believe that, first of all, there's probably a lot of belief changing and attitude changing that can happen around me and money. You know, why not believe that I can afford it? Even if I can't right now, I will be able to by the time it's time to. Alright, I'm going to wrap the rest of this up. Publishing a book is an expensive thing, but somehow the money will come in. I'll be able to afford to. And then I have my ego, my fear of judgment, my whatever, saying, is anyone actually going to want to read this book? And what about your publisher? You know who you would like to publish with, but what if when she reads it, or when she and her associates read it, they don't like it? First of all, I don't know that they won't like it. They might not. Or it's just as possible that they'll read it and they'll be like, absolutely, I want to publish this. I'm going to give her a chance to like it before I decide that she won't like it. And if she doesn't like it, I'll figure something out. I could find another publisher if I had to, or even self-publish, probably. I mean, these are baked lays, by the way. Not sure how crazy I am about them, but that's what I got. I didn't feel like Dorito nacho cheese. What I might do next time is get my own chips. Like, buy a bag of chips from the store or something and just get the sandwich. And next time I won't get dressing on the salad, which I'm not even going to touch right now. Let's put that back in the bag. Because the only ranch dressing they had was peppercorn ranch, and I don't want peppercorns in my salad. I want just plain ranch. So if they don't have it, you get it yourself and you add it yourself. Anyway, I'm going to write this book, send it to my hopeful publisher, and if she'll publish it, wonderful. If she won't, I'll find another way to get it published. But she says, I can't publish an idea. I need you to write the book, and then I'll be happy to look at it and tell you what I think about publishing it. She didn't say that specifically to me, but I've heard her say that. So, I'm in the process of writing the book, and the book's going to go through several stages before it's even ready to be seen by the publisher. So I'm not ready to give any kind of spoilers away on YouTube yet, but let's just say it's far out fiction. It's cheesy comedy kind of sprinkled in from place to place. And it's literature about topics that I think deserve more attention, or that I have an opinion about that I want to share with the world. Or that doesn't tell you much, but that's what I'm going to tell you right now. And another thing I'll tell you is that if I could, I would just dedicate myself to that all weekend. But I'm afraid that's a luxury I just don't have. I have a job that needs to be done by the end of the weekend, and I need to do that. I mean, that has a deadline. That has someone counting on me to get that done. That's more important than my new pet project, my new baby, my new book in the works. You know, I've been writing, like, starting ideas for books and never finishing them for like 2 years. And you know what the problem was with all of those books? I was trying to write a book that conveyed a message or that dealt with a topic, but really it wasn't my kind of book. It wasn't the kind of book that I necessarily like to write. It wasn't necessarily, well, I wasn't really much of a book writer anyway. I've always been like a hobby script writer. Like, if I was going to write that show, how would I write it? If we did a reboot on that show, or created a spin-off of that show with this character and them doing this and them being involved like this and that, how would I write it? And then I got to the point where I was like, well, maybe there's a book in me waiting to be published that I don't know about yet. Or maybe I should try my hand at writing something that I actually want to publish. And I started writing fictional narratives that I kind of had the idea of the point I wanted made, but I wasn't sure how we were going to get there. I started writing like self-help kind of books that I really don't necessarily think of myself as a self-help person. I definitely don't think of myself as a life coach or anything like that. But I went ahead and tried to write. And then the way this was conceived, through the magic of the internet, I have on and off for about the past year and a half, 2 years, I've been exposed to some classic TV. When I say classic, I mean stuff that would have been on when I was a kid. And some of it I remembered. And I was like, oh cool, I get to listen to this again. Some of it I kind of recognized the theme, but I was like, oh yeah, I don't care about that show. Something that fell into that category, something that I was like, oh yeah, I kind of remember the show. I don't know anything about it. I'd never watched it. I think I probably like skimmed over it while I was looking for something else. And then something on another channel always grabbed my interest. Well, now I was listening to it with fresh ears. I was actually paying attention to it. And I don't know what it was that impressed me so much about it, but I found myself liking it. And this section of this show, or this segment of this show, this feature of this show, it was kind of a variety show. And this particular feature was a parody of a TV show that had existed before. That, by the way, I looked up recently and I didn't sit through a whole episode. I just wasn't interested. But that was a parody of that. I thought, why can't I create my own characters, my own situation, my own setting, and parody what I like? And the book was born. It's not a script. It's written from the perspective of one of the characters. And I'm not going to say anything else about it, but yeah, I've told you just enough to make you curious, and then I'm shutting down. But let me put it this way. Watch this space, and watch the space of my website, anv.me, although I haven't made any kind of announcements about it yet. I don't know when I'll be ready to make an announcement about it. On anv.me, there will be links when it's ready to be published to where you can buy it on Amazon, where you can buy it on Audible maybe, where you can maybe not download it on Bookshare, but if you... I'm going to see about maybe putting it on Bookshare, or whatever my virtual bookshop is going to end up being. As a blind person, alternative formats from print mean a lot to me. And as a matter of fact, it might not even come out as a print book for a while. Well, it's not going to be coming out for a while, period, because there's so much that this book needs to go through before she's ready to actually be published, even this first book, let alone the whole series. But my focus will probably be making it available on Kindle or Audible or Bookshare or like, I'm not saying I'll never print it. I'm sure there's plenty of people who would really rather have a physical book that they can hold in their hand and run through flip through the pages. And I will no doubt produce those as well. But my priority, unlike a lot of authors, I would say, is to make it available for people who can't read print. Because it's not fair for people who can't read print to not be able to enjoy the book. At the same time, it's not fair for people who can read print to not be able to enjoy the book either. So I acknowledge that as well. But it's still probably years in the making. Maybe not, well, yeah. I was going to say maybe not years, but it might still be years in the making. But let me put it this way. It's closer to being published now than it was 2 years ago when I thought there might be a book, but I was writing all the wrong beginnings, trying to find the right one. I whet your appetite, and then I closed it down. I hope you don't go crazy between now and the time it's actually ready to be published. But when it is ready to be published, well, when it's ready to be published, when it has been published, and it's ready to be purchased, there will be links on anv.me about where to go to buy it, or you might even be able to buy it directly off of anv.me. So if you're dying to read it now, just hang in there and set aside, I don't know, 10, 20 bucks for the purchase of a book, because one day it'll come out, and when that day comes, I'm happy to have you buy it. In the meantime, it is
1:50 p.m. and 31 seconds.
Almost 2 o'clock. I've got a grocery order coming. I've got a transcription job to do. I've barely started the transcription job. There's so much more to do. And there's plenty more writing to do. So I think this mukbang is over. I got a ton of food left, but I won't be eating it right now. Leftovers, anyone? Yes, absolutely. I think I've got tomorrow's lunch taken care of, and I don't know when I'm going to eat this salad, but I'm going to eat this salad. Thank you for watching this video, this audio-centric video. Check out anv.me, ANNEV.me. Check out Aira, check out Shipped, and you will hear from me in the next video. Bye.